I said, there are a ton of different techniques and resources within the Yoga and Mindfulness Portal, and we are always looking to add more. We have our social emotional outreach involves a calendar that has activities for every day, like mindfulness activities that students can take home, check off when they're done, and we encourage them to do that with family. We also have a full social emotional portal with our different techniques that really support social emotional learning. So within our curriculum, each lesson encompasses multiple social emotional concepts. Designed intentionally to cover quite a few different social emotional concepts throughout the year. And these social emotional concepts within our curriculum enhance students' physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Currently, we are in the process of applying to become a Castle Select school, which means we would become an SEL certified program. And so we will be part of that process over the next year and looking to grow our program and support as many students as possible within the social emotional realm. So now I am going to take you on a tour of our online resource center. Our online resource center has many, many resources like I said before. This is called our Yoga and Mindfulness Portal. Here you can see a visual, one of my favorite handouts that's on the Resource Center component. And this is called my Grumble List. So you can see lots of little frowny faces here. And what we do is we have students or even adults who attend some of our courses, we have them write things they want to complain about. So maybe I have to do the laundry or something. And then they go through and they fill out the little smiley faces with things that they are gratitudes that go with those grumbles. So positives that they can find within those situations. So maybe it's, I have clothes to wear for the I have to do laundry example. So all of our Yoga and Mindfulness Portal resource centers are laid out in a similar way. So right now you see our middle school year one. This is the online version. So here below, you will see the lessons, the lesson videos, and then any additional resources that we utilize or ask teachers to utilize within those lessons. So this comes with anyone who does the online version. The licensing teachers also receive access to our videos as well as tutorials about things to think about while they're teaching those. There are additional little hubs within all of the courses that you receive. So you'll see some extension activities, printables, parts of practice, mindfulness practices, and the Welcome Center and teacher information. So I'll show you a little bit about what's in each of those. So the Welcome Center is where we house our in-services. It's where we house any materials that you might want to print out to send home to families. We also have our Teacher Self-Care Center here, which is so incredibly important for teachers. We often forget about our own self-care because we are giving all day long to students. And so that self-care you need to be replenished through the use of self-care. So there are hours of yoga practices on here and other resources for you. So you'll see here our Mindful Practice Resource Center. A few of these resource centers are still having videos added. This is one of them. So you can see here we have quite a few breath practices. We are also going to be adding on additional forms of mindfulness and such as sensory and that kind of thing. You'll also notice that our breath practices are divided by the energetic level we want to achieve with students. So here we have concentration breaths, energizing breaths, and relaxation breaths. And there are a few that fall under our multiple areas of focus. These all go in line with our breath card deck that is one of our newer releases. We have tons and tons of printable resources available to you. Again, they're always being uploaded, so this list will be quite extensive by the beginning of the school year. This top section is our card decks. And you can see here, we have quite a few card decks that you have access to when you purchase the program. So all of these card decks, each one individually is about $20 each, but you have access to download the PDFs of the card decks. You can screenshot them, put them up on PowerPoint, smartboards, or print them, whatever you'd like to do. We also have posters, quite a few posters here. One of my favorite posters is the When You Feel poster. This one is tied to the zones of regulation. And so we just called it When You Feel. So we've given students different things they might feel. We've coordinated these colors with the zones of regulation because it's such an incredible program that makes so much sense to so many students. And so we have 3 different resources that pertain to the zones of regulation. We have this mudra one. We also have one with breath techniques and another with yoga poses. So pretty much if they're hanging up and students know these mudras, they can look up, they can see a mudra that's going to help them out with whatever zone they're in. We have quite a few mindfulness worksheets. Again, these are being added, so we have 20 plus that you'll see on here by the beginning of the school year. And these are just guiding students through mindfulness practices in a more interactive way. And then we do also have printable breath practices. So these are principles that go with some of those different breath practices, especially like our shape breathing and that kind of thing. Another awesome feature that we provide is our extension activities. So every year of curriculum contains an extension activity to go with every single lesson. This is meant for teachers who would like to elaborate on the concepts discussed within the lessons to have resources to do so. And so by the beginning of the school year, these will be updated slightly, and what you will see at the top will be the learning targets that go along with the concepts approached in that lesson. You will also see the main instructions for the main concept, the main social emotional or mindfulness technique taught within the lesson at the top here. Then you'll have lists of videos, literature, music, professional development that go with whatever the heart of the lesson was. And then you'll also have extension activities. So instructions for different extension activities. And there are a lot of different extension activities that you can choose from based on the time you have available, the resources you have available. A lot of schools do extension activities, like they do a Wellness Wednesday and they'll do an extension activity every Wednesday. Or like the YouTube videos are really great to just pull up if you need a quick brain break. So within each of these folders, you will also see the printables that go with each of the extension activities. So here you have a mudra journal, and this just walks you through choosing a mudra for the day and how you're feeling, why you chose that mudra, and then reflecting at the end of the day how you're feeling after utilizing the mudra all day. One last component I want to show you is our middle school journal. So this is our middle school year 1 journal, and each journal walks students through different questions. So this kind of is a summary of the lesson that they were taught, lesson 1, year 1. And then they have little prompts for them to fill out. So thinking about some of the things your inner critic tells you, and then what your inner best friend tells you. And there's additional journal prompts and reflection questions towards the end of each of the lessons as well. So additionally, you will find another little hub that has all of the parts of practice laid out within video format. So if you can't remember how to do a technique that was taught in one of the lessons, this is where you will go. Or if you just want to play a short video as an intentional brain break, this is where you can go. So you can see that we have our mudras, seated practice, movement, heart of the lesson, guided mindfulness, quite a few different videos within each of these. So I'll pull up the mudra so you can see that component. Here we have dozens of videos of our teachers introducing 3 mudras at a time. So you can just choose a set of mudras that looks good and push play. We also have our movement. So we have our sun salutation. I'll pull up the heart of the lesson as well. So you can see the different techniques. We have the books that we read within that year of curriculum. We have the different breath techniques that are taught in that year of curriculum, the movement techniques from that year. So quite a few different techniques within there.